Part 39. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 381. Chapter 381 Chapter 381 System Compensation. Secretary Mo also hit it too deeply. If she hadn't come by air, we wouldn't have said we were rejecting her. We were just dissatisfied with her being airborne. She made excuses in her mind to comfort the bully in her office. Of course Mo Zhangxiang didn't say that they could bully him. Jin Lixia glanced at her watch and said, "It's break time, let's go back to work quickly." After the two left, Zhang Xiao took off the newspaper covering her face. Mo Zhangxiang went to Mo's. Is she officially quarreling with Mo Ziwiyuan? Why? Zhang was puzzled for a long time. At this time, the voice of the garbage system sounded, "Host, are you there?" "Yes," Zhang Shi replied in his heart. "Garbage system, host, I have already reported it to the superiors as to why Miss Baiyu Egwan came back. The superiors have not encountered this situation, but this matter is our mistake. The compensation given to you by the superiors is that Miss Baiyu Egwan occupied her body time. What happened, as compensation?" Zhang Xiaoshi. "It seems that not only it itself is rubbish, but also the people on it are rubbish. It has been so many days and it still hasn't been found out. This efficiency is really hard to complain about. The garbage system has become very sensible and silent at this time. She has heard the host complain about it too many times. Now staying silent is the best choice. By the time she finishes complaining, it will not be a day or two before she is disliked. You can bring me some compensation," Zhang Xiaoxiao urged with a bad temper. Garbage system. Host, I will start teleporting now. As soon as garbage system finished speaking, Zhang Xiaoxiao's mind was like a slideshow, and every scene of Baiyu Egwang's interactions with the boss and Mo Zhangxiang appeared in her mind. Zhang Xiao paid special attention to the scenes where Baiyu Egwang and Mo Zhangxiang got along, but she skipped over the scenes with Fu Chenexai with a blushing face. Garbage system, host, the compensation has been given, there is no problem, I will leave first. Why are you panicking? I have something to ask you, Zhang Xiao said to it. Garbage system, can it not stay? It's afraid. Let me ask you, will I go back in the near future? Zhang Xiao now has to think about his children. Garbage system, why does she always ask herself questions that it cannot answer? Let me ask you something, Zhang Xiao asked the system angrily. Garbage system, host, you can ask some questions that can be answered. Zhang Shi. Garbage system, host, for example, if you ask me about the gender of my child, I will know. Zhang Xiao sneered. If she wanted to know the gender of her child, she would just go to the hospital and get an ultrasound when she was a month old. She was a doctor. Garbage type, host, my ability is only so much, so don't embarrass me. Zhang Xiao. Looks so pitiful, it feels like he is such a bad person. Garbage system, yes, don't you know how bad you are, always bullying weak people like me? Of course, it can only say this silently. Can Mo Zhangxiang defeat Mo Ziwiyuan? Will she encounter any danger? Zhang Xiao's second question. Garbage system, host, there are many unknown elements, and I cannot be sure if it is a problem that day, then I can tell you that Mo Zhangxiang will be in danger today. When? Zhang Xiao suddenly became nervous. End of this chapter. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 382. Chapter 382 Chapter 382 Mo Zhangxiang is in danger. Garbage system, not now, but will happen today. Zhang Shixiao frowned, how accurate can you be at the time? Garbage system, if you are with Mo Zhangxiang, I can get the time accurate. I'm going to Rongcheng now. Zhang Xiao stood up and walked out of Fu's building and went to Rongcheng. Although she was not Baiyu Egwang, she didn't need to care about the hatred, but she couldn't let anything happen to Mo Zhangxiang, who was Miss Baiyu Eguang's relative. She occupied her body, so she should help her protect this only relative. Garbage system, host, you may be in danger if you go, I suggest you find someone to accompany you. After Zhang Xiaoxiao heard what the system said, he immediately called Zhao Huiyan, Uncle Zhao, are you still filming in Chengdu? Here, what's wrong? Zhao Huiyan was still filming a fighting scene with the sound of gunfire behind him, and he was wondering why this little ancestor called him. Uncle Zhao, come and pick me up at the airport. Zhang Xiaoxiao had already bought a ticket and asked the driver to take her directly to the airport. Zhao Huiyan was breaking out in a cold sweat. What was this little ancestor doing here again? He hadn't just been taken back by someone, or he was here to investigate the Mo family again. This was a bit nerve-wracking. Child, come and follow me. Did your fifth uncle say that? As soon as Zhao Huiyan asked, a call came in from Zhang Shishi's mobile phone, and it was Fu Xiu. Fifth uncle. We've been there, why haven't we come up yet? Fu Xiu looked at the little red dot that was getting further and further away, his long eyebrows tightly knitted together. Zhang Xiao didn't say panic, but replied with a guilty conscience, Uncle Wu, I'm on my way to the airport. Fu Xiu's face suddenly sank, his expression gloomy, his voice cold and commanding, come back. Uncle Wu, I have something very important to do in Chengdu, and I must go. Zhang Xiao's heart was trembling. It took courage to refute the boss's words. Fu Xiu's cold eyes were dark, and there was already a trace of anger on his face. His face was as dark as the bottom of a pot. If you want me to go to the airport to arrest you, you should let me call the driver to bring the car back. Zhang Xiaoxi was basically a coward. Knowing Fu Xiu's character of being soft-spoken but not tough, he started acting coquettishly, Uncle Fifth, I've already called Uncle Zhao. He said he would come back to pick me up. Fu Xiu's temples were beating hard, and he wanted to catch a certain woman and give her a beating. Didn't she know that she was two people now? What are you doing in Rongcheng? Zhang Xiaoxiao bit his lip and was considering whether to tell him the truth. After a moment of internal struggle, he decided to tell the truth, Uncle Wu, I'm going to find Mo Zhangxiang. You know everything. Fu Xiu's words were affirmative. Zhang Xiao was stunned for a moment, and then realized that the boss had known about Mo Zhangxiang's relationship with her for a long time. It was not necessarily that the boss knew about it earlier than she did. Fifth uncle, Mo Zhangxiang is my sister. I have to help her. You come back first. Uncle Wu has arrangements to ensure her safety, Fu Xiu said. Fifth uncle, just let me go and take a look. I will be uneasy at home, Zhang Xiao said pitifully. Fu Xiu softened his heart, I have to come back tomorrow. If I don't come back, you won't be able to take the college entrance examination. Just stay at home until I give birth to the child. Thank you, Uncle Wu, I love you so much. Zhang Xiao held the phone and kissed the screen twice. Fu Xiu. Why can't he do anything with this little girl? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 383. Chapter 383. Chapter 383. Treasure Golden Egg. Rongcheng. Zhao Huiyan hung up the phone when Zhang was young. After receiving a threatening call from someone, she came to the airport early to wait for a certain little ancestor. Zhao Huiyan's agent assistant was almost crying while sitting in the driver's seat. They had been here for 3 hours and he asked Zhao Huiyan to film his scene here. This old man refused to do it and sat here for so long in vain. Isn't it a waste of time? If the opponent bribes you and says you are trying to be a big name, it will probably be on the hot search for several days. Mr. Zhao, You see, the plane will arrive in an hour. Can you go and film a movie while you're here? The agent almost knelt down in front of him. Zhao Huiyan was playing with her mobile phone and ignored him at all. Agent. After waiting for another hour, the plane from Ruchin to Rongcheng arrived. Zhang Xiaoxi was traveling in first class, so he came out of the VIP channel in advance. Zhao Huiyan waved to her in full force, and Zhang Xiaoxiao trotted over. Zhao Huiyan was so frightened by her move that her back was soaked with cold sweat. She lowered her voice and said, "Little ancestor, run slower." Zhang Xiaoxiao ran to Zhao Huiyan and stuck out his tongue. "It's okay, Uncle Zhao, why are you nervous?" Zhao Huiyan held her wrist and walked towards her car. "Little ancestor, why do you think I am nervous? You are different now. If something goes wrong in my hands, then Uncle Zhao and I will have to die to apologize." Zhang Xiaoxi. Uncle Zhao is not so exaggerated. It's such an exaggeration. You are now a golden egg. Golden egg, Zhang Xiaoxiao's mouth twitched. Isn't it a golden egg? It will break at the slightest touch if something happens to the yolk in the belly. Haha, Uncle Zhao, I won't be able to see the sun tomorrow. Zhang Shi. Let's have some snacks first. Zhao Huiyan handed Zhang Xiaoxi the limes he had prepared in the car, and then showed Zhang Xiaoxi his mobile phone. "You are only here for one day, your fifth uncle tells you what you can eat, those who can't eat, those who like to eat, and those who don't like to eat are all sent to me." Zhang was eating sour oranges when he was young, looking at his mobile phone, and the corners of his mouth turned up unconsciously. He felt warm and sweet in his heart. "Well, Uncle Zhao, you have to take good care of me. You can't lose a hair. When you were little, didn't you know how to feel sorry for your Uncle Zhao?" Zhao Huiyan pretended to be pitiful to win her sympathy. Zhang Xiaoxiao's eyebrows curved. "Uncle Zhao, you just said that I am a golden egg. Now you are an old hen and you have to protect this egg of mine, as it should be." Zhao Huiyan. "I'm going to send a message to your fifth uncle now, so I can give him a smile." Zhao Huiyan took a photo of Zhang Xiaoxi with her cell phone and immediately sent it to someone. "Your baby bump has arrived. You know how to treat people well," Fu Chenxi replied. "Don't worry, I'll be there for you 20 hours a day." Zhao Huiyan turned around and sent a message to the director saying that she was taking a day off. When the director saw the news, he was furious on the spot. "Well, you Zhao Huiyan, give me the job now. I don't need you anymore. Even if you are awesome, I won't need you anymore." The actors filming there were so frightened that they couldn't even breathe. They didn't know what happened to the director. The deputy director comforted the director. "Old Zhao has always been very dedicated. Something must have happened this time, otherwise he wouldn't have asked for leave. Please calm down. What can happen? That kid is not in love, so what can he do?" the director shouted loudly. But the melon eaters didn't think that way, so someone took the video. Zhao Huiyan plays a big name hashtag. Zhao Huiyan talks about love hashtag. End of this chapter. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 384. Chapter 384. Chapter 384. Less than 3 hours left. After sending Zhang Xiao to the hotel, the agent received the news that his blood pressure was a little high and his blood vessels were about to burst. He immediately called the public relations officer. On the other hand, the client acted as if nothing was wrong, and he wanted to foam at the mouth. "Master Zhao, can you serve some snacks?" has become a hot search topic again. The agent almost knelt down to him. Zhao Huiyan raised her eyebrows, looked at her manager, and said shamelessly, "This new drama doesn't require any publicity fees. You see, I've taken care of it." Agent. "Okay, little fat guy, be happy. I'll send my little ancestor off tomorrow, and I'll go back to filming right away." Zhao Huiyan lay lazily on the sofa, staring at Zhang Xiao not far away. Facing such an artist, we can only accept our fate and let him be happy. the hotel's chef will serve you 24 hours a day. If you want to eat, just call the customer service directly. Zhao Huiyan looked at Zhang Shi, who had been sitting there in a daze for a while. Zhang Xiaoxiao was already caught up in chatting with the system. Zhang Xiaoxi, garbage system, I'm already in Chengdu now. Can you tell me what danger Mo Zhangxiang will be in? Garbage system, host, you haven't seen Mo Zhangxiang yet, and I haven't explored it either. Zhang Xiao. She wants to curse, is that okay? She thought that as long as she came to Chengdu, it would be able to determine the time, but now she had to do it in front of Mo Zhangxiang. The garbage system was trembling in the corner. It was afraid that it would be silenced in the next second. After all, its host had a bad temper. After Zhang Xiao finished talking to the system, he used his mobile phone to contact Mo Zhangxiang. Where are you? When I was little, my sister was at the company. What happened? Zhang Shi, in which company? Mo Zhangxiang was stunned for a moment. He was originally going to lie to Zhang Xiaoxiao, but after thinking about it, he decided to forget it and told her the truth. I am in the Mo family's company. Then should I come to Mo group to find you, or should we meet outside? Anyway, I want to see you right away, Zhang Xiaoxiao said with a frown. You came to Chengdu? Mo Zhangxiang was surprised. Wasn't she just picked up by Fujianxiu for a few days? Why did you come back again? Well, I came to see you because I have something to tell you. Okay, let's meet at the Star Coffee Shop in Nanshang Building in 20 minutes. Naturally, Mo Zhangxiang would not choose Zhang Xiao to come to Mo's. As soon as she came to Mo's, everything was exposed, so she asked Mo Ziwiyuan. She thought it would be good if she was the only one who survived, at least after she sent Mo Ziwiyuan to prison completely. After Zhang Xiaoxiao had a phone call with Mo Zhangxiang, he pestered Zhao Huiyan and sent her to the Star Coffee Shop. Zhao Huiyan knew that Zhang Xiaoxiao already knew that Mo Zhangxiang was her sister. Today, he also knew about the Mo family. Fujianxiu also told him that the little girl had to go out after all, and he had to protect her safety. I don't know if Mo Zhangxiang is smart enough. Just don't let Mo Ziwiyuan's people follow him. Give me Mo Jiangxiang's contact information. Zhao Huiyan worriedly asked for Mo Jiangxiang's phone number, and then sent Mo Zhangxiang a text message telling her how to meet. With Zhao Huiyan's guidance, the last place Mo Zhangxiang met Zhang Xiaoxiao was in Zhao Huiyan's RV, which was parked in the underground parking lot of a shopping mall. As soon as Mo Zhangxiang got into the RV, the sound of the garbage system rang. Host, she is less than 3 hours away from danger. End of this chapter. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 385. Chapter 385. Chapter 385. Are there any paparazzi? Zhang Xiao frowned. There were still 3 hours left, so she had to find a way to get Mo Zhangxiang to stay with her for 3 hours. Wouldn't it be awkward to chat? Zhang Shi felt a little brain burning. Mo Zhangxiang got into the RV from a car, and his eyes never left Zhang Shishi's face. His dark eyes stared at Zhang Shishi without moving, and his delicate brows twisted slightly. Xiao Xiao, what do you want to say to your sister? Zhang had no sisters when he was young, and he was not the kind to get to know people well. He had a natural sense of alienation towards Mo Zhangxiang, which he couldn't hide. I want to tell you, can you stay with me until 7 o'clock in the afternoon? Mo Zhangxiang. Zhang Shi also felt a little embarrassed, and the reason was a bit strange. The way she spoke was wrong, so she changed her words to look more natural. I haven't had dinner with you yet, and I want to have dinner with you. Mo Zhangxiang narrowed his eyes slightly and stared at Zhang Shishi. It took her almost 10 seconds to answer. Xiao Shi, I'm not free today. How about we make an appointment another day? No, Zhang Xiao said in a loud voice. Mo Zhangxiang stared at her face with complicated expressions. Zhang Shi's pupils shrank slightly, his face stiffened, his long black eyelashes trembled, and he looked unnaturally at other places in the car. Knowing that his reaction just now was a bit excessive, he coughed dryly and said, "I have to go back to Ruchin tomorrow, and I won't have time to have dinner with you tomorrow. We still have time to do things in the future. Sister wants to get Mo's family back now, so we can't relax," Mo Zhangxiang said. Zhang Xiaoxiao was trying his best to make Mo Zhangxiang stay with him until 7 o'clock in the afternoon. It won't take a day or two to get Mo's family from Mo Ziwiyuan, and there's no rush hours. Mo Zhangxiang looked serious. "When I was young, I just went to Mo's. How many eyes were staring at me? I can't relax at this time, you know." Zhang Xiao. It's so difficult for her to keep someone. What other reasons can she use? "Can't you stay with me?" Zhang Xiaoxi really didn't know what to say. Mo Zhangxiang smiled softly and reached out to touch the top of Zhang Xiaoxi's hair. "Xiaoxia, my sister will still have a lot of time to spend with you in the future, but not now." Zhang Xiao was dodging a little to avoid Mo Zhangxiang, but Mo Zhangxiang took notice of every little move he made. "Okay, my little sister has to go to work when you return to Ruchin. You should listen to your fifth uncle's words, you know," Mo Zhangxiang simply told him and left. Zhang Xiao was stunned for a moment, and the person left her sight. When she wanted to run to chase the person, someone grabbed her wrist. "Uncle Zhao, what are you doing? Let me go, and I can't let her leave." "You can't get out of the car now," Zhao Huiyan said with a serious expression. "Why?" Zhang Shi was thinking about chasing Mo Zhangxiang and didn't even see Zhao Huiyan's expression. Zhao Huiyan frowned and said to her agent, "Drive, go around more." "Are there any paparazzi?" the manager said warily. "They all deliberately changed their cars when they came out today, for fear of being recognized by the paparazzi or fans." Zhang became quiet as soon as he was young and sat obediently in the car. Zhao Huiyan was a popular star. If she got out of his car when the storm was still at its peak, it would cause trouble for him. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 386. Chapter 386. Chapter 386. But it will definitely not be a good thing. The agent drove the car to several intersections, looked at the reflector, and said with a serious face, "Mr. Zhao, I can't get rid of this person. What should I do?" Zhao Huiyan got a call from her cell phone and said to her agent, "Go and walk around the city a few times." "Master Zhao, you want me to get out of the car and negotiate with them for a few words?" "It's best to use money to spend it." The agent suggested that there are very few things that can't be done without money in this industry. As long as you give the paparazzi enough money, they can come. Best to get rid of it? No, you can continue driving to the city. Zhang Xiaoxiao sat next to him and looked at Zhao Huiyan's expression. He immediately realized that something was wrong. The person following them was probably not the paparazzi. If it was not the paparazzi, then there was only one possibility, and that was Mo Ziwiyuan's people. He came with Mo Zhangxiang. Zhang Xiao just made such a guess, and subconsciously covered his lower abdomen with his hands, instinctively wanting to protect him, her. Zhao Huiyan's face didn't have the usual playful and smiling expression at all, and the aura on her body was completely different from usual. She was very serious, and there was a faint murderous aura. Sure enough, the people who were with Fuchin Xiu, how could they be fooling around here on weekdays? But this was definitely not the case. What a good thing. The agent turned the steering wheel and the car body shook violently. Zhang Shi's face turned pale with fright and he protected his stomach. "Mr. Zhao, are the paparazzi behind you crazy? They want to hit you with their car." There was cold sweat on the little fat face, and his little eyes were full of anger. Zhao Huiyan narrowed her eyes and said with a gloomy expression, "Drive well, or I will replace you." "Master Zhao, can you still threaten me?" "At any rate, I retired from the motorcade and used my superb driving skills to help you avoid countless paparazzi tracking," Xiaopang said aggrievedly. "Drive well, drive to the front, and someone will help you block the cars behind you," Zhao Huiyan bit her cheek, her words smelling of bloodthirsty. Little Fatty's expression was serious, his foot was on the accelerator, and the car was shaking unsteadily. Zhang Ziaxi protected his belly with all his strength, and Zhao Huiyan protected Zhang Ziaxi with all his strength. Mo Zhangxiang got off the RV and drove back to the company. He kept thinking about Zhang Xiao's actions in his mind, his eyebrows furrowing in confusion. Zhang was very different today when she was young. She seemed to be the same as before, with that sense of alienation and not that closeness. It was completely different from that day when she called her sister, with that strong sense of family affection, that kind of closeness, that sound. Sister, she didn't call her sister today. No matter how a person changes, it is impossible for him to be familiar with you a few days ago and become like a stranger after a few days. The rejection comes from the heart and cannot be faked. What is this? This is really confusing. Momo, drive well and don't be distracted. Su Yuan sat up from the desk and chair behind him and looked at Mo Zhangxiang with soft eyes. Mo Zhangxiang looked at his sudden appearance and almost turned the steering wheel one more time. He asked in surprise, "Su Yuan's, when will you get in my car?" "When you get into another man's car, I get into your car and say, Momo, I'm not happy." Su Yuan's face had an expression that said, I'm not happy, come and comfort me." Mo Zhangxiang looked at the man speechlessly, but still coaxed him, "Be good, I'll go back with you after I finish handling the Mo family's affairs. Also, I just met Xiao Xiao. Recently, the new type of virus in Wuhan, babies go out with a mask, or be a happy fat house, whatever." End of this chapter. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 387. Chapter 387. Chapter 387. I want one now. There were two men in the car just now. Su Yuan pouted and said sourly. Mo Zhangxiang. Momo, I really want to take you home. I regret giving you freedom. I can't see you talking to other men. I will be jealous. Su Yuan's played with her hair. Mo Zhangxiang knew this man's character very well, so he naturally had a way to deal with him. I know you can't do it, so just wait for me to go home with you, okay? Su Yuan's kissed her hair and said, Momo, please let me help you. No, I want to solve it myself. Mo Zhangxiang stubbornly refused him. Su Yuan's knew that he could not convince the woman in front of him, so he had no choice but to let it go. Driving well, you are being followed all the way. How can I feel relieved with your vigilance? Mo Zhangxiang glanced at the rearview mirror and saw a car following him. His first reaction was not to worry about his own safety, but to ask, when did these people follow me? They followed you when you set off from the company, and Momo and the others also followed your sister, Su Yuan said. After hearing what he said, Mo Zhangxiang turned the steering wheel and drove back. His tone was full of worry. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I was still in that car when I was young. Su Yuan's leaned back in the back seat leisurely. Momo, Fujianxiao's people are here, so you don't have to worry. By the way, you may not know that your sister is pregnant. Mo Zhangxiang almost hit the emergency brake, his face full of shock. What did you say? She was pregnant when she was a child? Fujianxiao couldn't let her come to such a dangerous place in Chengdu. Fujianxiao didn't know she was pregnant. I know, but it seems that Fujianxiao can't do anything to your sister, just like I can't do anything to you. But he has secretly sent a lot of people to protect your sister, so you don't have to worry now. Su Yuan's didn't dare to be interested in anyone else's affairs. People look at Zhang when she is young, that's because she is her sister. Amo Zhangxiang couldn't describe what he was feeling. He was surprised and ecstatic. She was pregnant as a child, so she would have another relative connected by blood. It was great that her sister would not die so early. Momo, what are you thinking about? Are you envious that your sister has a baby? We can also have one right away. The time is very good at this moment. Su Yuans looked at Mo Zhangxiang with bright eyes, as if he felt that his proposal it's very good. It would be great to have a child who looks like Momo, regardless of gender. Mo Zhangxiang looked at the corners of his slightly upturned lips and immediately shattered what he was thinking. I don't want it, at least I don't have this plan in the next year. Momo, you don't want to have a baby, are you thinking of leaving me? Su Yuan's eyes dimmed. Mo Zhangxiang felt the depressing atmosphere in the car, and the corner of his eye twitched. He could always be related to leaving him, so he immediately responded, it's because you haven't given birth in the past year. Your family is not peaceful, isn't it? I will kill them all. Su Yuan's licked his cheek. Besides killing, there are many ways to solve the problem. Mo Zhangxiang persuaded and enlightened. Too slow, you will run away, I don't want it. Mo Zhangxiang. Momo, I can lose everything, but you can't, so don't leave me, I won't feel safe. End of this chapter. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 388. Chapter 388. Chapter 388. Return the favor. I will not leave you, so you don't have to feel insecure. Mo Zhangxiang answered Su Yuan's firmly, giving him reassurance. Then let's have a baby, Su Yuan said in her ear. Mo Zhangxiang's ears shrank back. Su Yuan's, don't make trouble, I'm driving. Su Yuan's narrowed his eyes and immediately turned Mo Zhangxiang's steering wheel. A car drove past them quickly. Momo, step on the accelerator to the end. Mo Zhangxiang's black eyes suddenly widened, this is a troubled area. I know, leave the steering wheel to me, I promise not to hurt anyone. Su Yuan's controlled the steering wheel with both hands, looking dangerously at the backing car in front of him with half-squinted eyes. Mo Zhangxiang stepped on the accelerator with confidence. Su Yuan's controlled the steering wheel, and the two drove the car out of the downtown area in tacit agreement. Momo, call. Good. The call was connected. Su Yuan said a few words to the phone and then hung up. At the same time as the phone was hung up, several cars followed behind. Mo Zhangxiang frowned, and there was no fear on his face. They seemed to be about to collide. Well, don't be afraid, go to the passenger seat and I'll drive. Mo Zhangxiang reacted quickly and climbed from the driver's seat to the passenger seat. The moment his foot came off the accelerator, the car body shook violently. Su Yuan's jumped on it almost as soon as Mo Zhangxiang left his seat. Momo, fasten your seat belt. Mo Zhangxiang had just fastened her seat belt when there was a bang and her passenger window was broken, leaving traces of finger bullets. Mo Zhangxiang's face turned pale and he squinted at the broken glass of the co-pilot. His whole body tensed up. He grasped the seat belt tightly with both hands and lowered his head slightly, trying not to expose his head. Su Yuan's, with his yang engorged and scarlet red, threw the wooden warehouse around his waist to Mo Zhangxiang, don't return the favor. I can't. Mo Zhangxiang held the wooden warehouse in his hand and bit his lips. I've loaded the gun, just drive. Su Yuan's gave the car another beautiful flick. Mo Zhangxiang looked at the cars that occasionally passed by her outside, and she swallowed nervously. She had never touched this thing before, not to mention that there were many cars passing by them now, and she was afraid of accidentally injuring her. Others, especially innocent people, haven't your people arrived yet? Momo, do you think I will come to you without anyone? Do you think I will let you leave without sending anyone by your side? I'm afraid the people who are with you are no longer here. Su Yuan's gritted his molars and said. Mo Zhangxiang's pupils shrank slightly. He was shocked at first, and then warmed his heart. He was always so kind to him, but she was not the best at that time. Mo Zhangxiang held the wooden warehouse and pointed it out the car window after all. As soon as Su Yuan said so, she would pull the trigger. At this time, her face was already covered with dense sweat. Su Yuan's was driving and looking to the side, looking for the best opportunity to open a wooden warehouse. After a few minutes, Su Yuan's eyes darkened. Momo, pull the trigger right now. Mo Zhangxiang nervously pressed the trigger. The hand Mukang had a silencer, so there was no sound at all. He saw the car following her, and the distance between them was getting farther and farther. Only then did Mo Zhangxiang confirm that he had been hit. She couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, but the sweat on her face still betrayed her nervousness at that moment. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 389. Chapter 389. Chapter 389 is left for you to play with Momo. Su Yuan's curled his lips and praised from the side, Momo, you did a good job. Mo Zhangxiang was about to collapse. Only she knew how nervous she was at the moment when she opened the wooden warehouse. She was afraid of what she would do if she really hurt an innocent person. Then she would feel guilty for the rest of her life. So why? He knew how to open a wooden warehouse because he absolutely believed in Su Yuan's and believed that his judgment was correct. At least this man had never lied to him. He said he would never hurt innocent people, so he definitely wouldn't. Have your people arrived yet? Mo Zhangxiang used his hands to put his hair that was stuck together behind his ears and wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. We're here. Su Yuan's looked at the cars that were chasing them. They were getting slower and slower and were surrounded by other cars. Yes, Mo Zhangxiang collapsed in the co-pilot in exhaustion. They were finally safe. At this time, she had time to calm down and think about how to deal with Mo Ziyuan. Although she knew that he would definitely deal with her, she did not expect that he would definitely deal with her. Did he want to harm her in the same way he killed her parents? Does he like the car accident scene so much? Momo, should you go back to the company or where I live? Su Yuan's asked for her opinion. Go back to the company. I didn't die. Someone will be very disappointed. She just wanted to see him trying to kill her. It would be very satisfying. Su Yuan's had chosen her way back to the company from the beginning. However, she was chased just now and took a detour a little further. Fortunately, she would not go back and the road was smooth. Su Yuan sent Mo Zhangxiang downstairs and got off the car himself. I'll take you up. If someone else gives you a gift, I'll naturally go and thank you. Mo Zhangxiang knew that Su Yuan's was angry, so he held his hand and said, promise me not to kill him. No, I'll leave it to you, Momo. Mo Zhangxiang. On Jiangxi's side, the agent used superb driving skills and the people sent by Zhao Huiyan to successfully get rid of the people who were following them. As soon as the car stabilized, Zhao Huiyan asked nervously, 11 Shi, are you okay? It's okay, Uncle Zhao. Zhang Xiaoxi's hands were always in a protective shape to protect his stomach. Are you sure? Zhao Huiyan stared at Zhang Xiao for fear that she would not tell the truth to him. Zhang Xiao unbuckled his seat belt and moved around a bit. He didn't feel anything strange. He answered Zhao Huiyan again, it's okay. I don't have any discomfort in my stomach. Hong, do you know if I'm going back to Ruchin early tomorrow morning? Zhao Huiyan said with a serious expression. Zhang Xiao replied with a pale face, okay, what just happened was too dangerous. It didn't matter to her alone, but now that we were two people, we couldn't be too willful. We have to change our living place. Do you still want to go out? Zhao Huiyan asked her. When Zhang was thinking about Mo Zhangxiang and the garbage system, She couldn't help but watch something happen to Mo Zhangxiang. She gritted her teeth and said, "Yes, Uncle Zhao, I have to go find Mo Zhangxiang. I will stay with her until 7 o'clock together." Zhao Huiyan didn't ask her why. She just changed a car and said, "She is most likely going to the company you go to most to find her." "I won't go to Mo's," Zhang Xiaoxiao said. After receiving Bai Yueguang's memory of that day, she knew that Mo Zhangxiang wanted to protect her and prevent Mo Ziwiyuan from knowing her existence. She couldn't show her face to Mo's. As soon as Zhang Shi finished speaking, the sound of the garbage system. End of this chapter. After wearing the book, I became the group favorite. Author, Little Ginger. Chapter 390. Chapter 390. Chapter 390. It is disliked again. Garbage system, host, Mo Zhangxiang will be injured in 5 minutes. Jiangxi. Garbage system, host, you can go to the hospital in advance. Zhangxiashi, I don't know if killing the system is considered a crime. Garbage system, life is precious, life away from the host is beautiful. There are still 5 minutes left and she will definitely not be able to make it. She has to go to the hospital and wait. How does she know which hospital she will go to? Will her life be in danger? Garbage system, the degree of injury is level B, I don't know if it is considered life-threatening. Jiangxi. You have upgraded again. The garbage system smiled sheepishly, host, you know this, you are shy. Zhang Xiao smiled coldly, you should upgrade some useful things. They are all useless skills. Garbage system, is it being disliked again? Zhang Xiaoshi, it's good that you know. It's a system, I feel aggrieved. This upgrade is not something it can decide, so being disliked is its fate. Zhang Xiao disliked it. Next time you upgrade the system, it's best to upgrade a positioning system, otherwise you won't even be able to compete with a mobile phone. Garbage system, it is probably much more advanced than a mobile phone, and now it is even regarded as being despised and not as good as a mobile phone. What kind of fate does she have? Zhang Xiao was disgusted with the system, so he checked on his mobile phone and found out what the hospitals closest to Mo's were, and finally locked them out. You're young, are you still going? Zhao Huiyan saw her stunned, and her expression was not very good. Zhang Xiao came to his senses and said, Uncle Zhao, let's go to the hospital. Are you feeling unwell? Is your stomach hurting, or is it uncomfortable there? Zhao Huiyan's nerves suddenly became tense. No, Uncle Zhao, it's not that I'm not feeling well, Mo Zhangxiang is in the hospital, Zhang Xiao said. Zhao Huiyan. In the hospital, Su Yuan stared at the doctor with scarlet eyes, holding the doctor's collar with blood-stained hands, with a ferocious face. He originally thought he was threatening the doctor, but he didn't expect that he was actually begging, save her, we must save her. The doctor was stunned for a moment. Just now, he thought he would be killed and silenced. Unexpectedly, it was completely opposite to what he thought. The ends of the man's eyes were scarlet, and there was helplessness deep in his eyes. This expression made him he had to be confused for a moment and nodded, it is our duty to save every patient with confidence. Su Yuan's let go of the doctor, leaning against the wall like a helpless child, staring at the people in the emergency room without blinking, and his clenched fists declared his current mood. When he and Mo Zhangxiang entered the Mo's building, a woman rushed out and stabbed Mo Zhangxiang. At that moment, his world collapsed. The painful feeling was as if he had experienced it before. Let her go. He let her get hurt right under his nose. And let that woman run away. Sir, who are you? She needs an operation and needs signatures from relatives. The head nurse stood in front of Su Yuan's and placed the operation consent form in front of his eyes. Su Yuan's eyes are now bloodshot, and he looks very eerie. In addition, there are dried blood stains on his hands. I am his husband. The patient has a ruptured spleen and needs to remove part of it. Just take a look and sign, the nurse said business-likely. End of this chapter.